Hey guys, it's Leo Stargazer. I'm here today with our All Signs weekly sign-specific readings. Today, as always, we'll be doing a reading for each sign. We will have timestamps in the description, so feel free to move to your ascendant sign or your sun sign or both. And we will be doing thinking, feeling, doing readings for each of you, inspired by the astrology of the week. And this week, the astrology is dynamic, it's exciting, it is transformative, or at least it hints towards transformation. And it could be a little scary, maybe a little daunting, but this week in particular, we are focused on cleansing, we are focused on releasing, and we're focused on being open to and still protected, but definitely opened to a sense of rebirth and preparation for potential transformation. So with all those grand ideas and grand thoughts, let me quickly go over what the astrology is. On Sunday, Venus moves into Virgo, beginning a whole new journey for Venus. It spent a lot of time in Leo, it retrograded through Leo. Well, lessons have been learned, and Venus is ready to deal with whatever Virgo has in store. And after Venus moves into Virgo on Wednesday, Mars moves into Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio, so this is an exciting time. It's a time of intense emotions. It's a time of passionate energy. It's a time of willpower and assertive self-assuredness. It's a time to pursue our goals with an ardent vigor, and it's really a time to be focused and strong. So I'm excited about Mars moving into Scorpio quite a bit. I think as a balance to Venus moving into Virgo, I think that's going to be really essential. And we're still in Libra season. And so speaking of Libra, at the end of the week, we have a solar eclipse in Libra to round out our week in a big, strong, powerful way. This solar eclipse is going to bring about a sense of that rebirth I was talking about. The solar eclipse is why we need to be cleansed and protected before Saturday. The solar eclipse is a time to protect our energy. It's a time to cleanse and release. So a lot of this week is a balance between Venus and Mars leading up to this solar eclipse in Libra to really bring the message home that balance is key. Balance can help you self-protect. Balance can help you be powerful, but stable. And I think that's the key of this week. This astrology isn't guaranteeing stability, but it definitely is going to require it. So we need to really stay balanced. This Libra season has called for us to really, really be focusing on that. So this week, balance again is the key word. And we need to stay balanced and directional this whole week so that by the time of that eclipse, we are cleansed, we are harmonious, we are calm, and we are at peace. Calm and peace are the keys to this balance I'm talking about. Staying calm, making sure that harmony and peace is at the forefront of your mind is going to be the key to staying protected on this week of a solar eclipse. So, without further ado, let's get to the readings. Like I said, we'll be doing thinking, feeling, doing, and we will begin with Aries. Okay, Aries. Hello, Aries. Okay, so let's get to our thinking, feeling, doing spread. Again, we want to stay balanced. We want calm and peace, and hopefully the tarot can guide us there. So, here we go. Thinking, feeling, doing. In thinking, the card I draw for you is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. What are you feeling this week? The Three of Pentacles. Okay. What are you doing? the Fool reversed. Okay. So, what I see here, Aries, for you this week is a focus on work. A focus on specifically collaboration. And I think your focus on work, your focus on collaboration is going to be loaded with some decisions and a focus on the present. So let's get started with the first card, though, to explain what I mean. In thinking, I drew the Eight of Pentacles reversed for you. The Eight of Pentacles reversed here is showing me that your thoughts are too much on the future right now. Your thoughts are too much on the result. This makes a lot of sense for you. I'm sure that energy and that idea is not a surprise. I think that you also could be looking too far forward to this eclipse, and that the focus on this eclipse may be getting in the way of some joy for you this week of just kind of doing the work. You're focused too much on the end. Maybe you're focused too much on the future. You need to focus on the present. The best way to do that is found in your heart, in your feelings. Your emotional core this week is going to be wrapped up in how you collaborate. Because we got the Eight of Pentacles reversed, I'm thinking specifically this is a work situation. Whether it's a project, whether it's something at work, collaboration is going to be key. But not just pragmatic collaboration, a deeper sense of collaboration than that. An actual relationship building. Something that helps you work with others in order to understand your emotional core. So not just running straight forward and doing everything you can on your own, not trying to race to win your solo race to get to the finish line. This week is really calling for you to focus on the task, the routine, the day-to-day work, and doing that with other people. That's where your heart and mind are going to be. What you're going to be doing is the Fool reversed. The Fool reversed in doing shows me that there is a risk in you rushing too far forward and too fast. That it also shows me that you will be doing what you need to do by focusing on the day-to-day, by collaborating. Because the Fool reverse says that you're not going to be running blindly, leaping off a cliff on your own. You're not going to be running straight forward, totally naively, just to get to the next thing. The Fool reverse shows me that what you're going to be doing is you're going to be thinking, you're going to be analyzing, you're going to be getting other people's opinions, and you're going to be doing what you need to do this week, which is to focus on your day-to-day. I think it really is that simple. I think the best way for you to stay protected on this week of an eclipse, during that solar eclipse, the best way for you to honor Venus moving into Virgo and Mars moving into Scorpio, the way you can harness that energy is by just focusing on your routines. Not making any big changes to them, but definitely dividing and conquering with you and your people. Maybe you're just your coworkers. Dividing and conquering. Delegating, I think, is also going to be a super hugely important thing for you this week. And since we got the Fool reversed in doing, I think you're going to be doing exactly that. So I'm not worried about you this week. I'm actually excited for you. I think that whether or not this eclipse signals some kind of rebirth within you, I don't know if I see that in these cards. But I do think that there is a sense of self-analysis here that's going to make you more aware of how you can work with other people and not just fly solo and everything. And I think that's going to be really important. Next week could be different, but I think this week, focus on day-to-day. Focus on delegation. And don't just blindly rush forward alone. That's how you're going to stay steady, peaceful, and calm, and productive. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Taurus. Hello, Taurus. All right. So let's hope the tarot and this thinking, feeling, doing spread can guide you into an understanding of how you can stay balanced and harmonious, how peace and calm can come your way this week, or at least how you can activate that, and how you can stay protected for this eclipse and be ready for whatever it has to offer you. Thinking, feeling, doing, thinking, Taurus. What are you thinking this week? Judgment. What are you feeling? Ace of Wands reversed. Okay. What are you going to be doing this week? The Star reversed. Okay. This week might be a challenge for you. But not in your mind. In your mind, in your thoughts, you got Judgment. Judgment in thoughts shows me that you're going to be discerning. You're going to be accepting of the changes that this upcoming eclipse is bringing to everyone. You are going to be almost your own authority on acceptance. I think that's the key word. I think in your mind, in your thoughts, you're going to be able to understand what has changed, what is shifting within you, what is shifting and changing in the outer world around you. You're going to be able to accept that change, accept that knowledge, and hopefully use it to help with your emotions and with what you're going to be doing, because those are a little bit more difficult. You got the Ace of Wands reversed in feeling. The Ace of Wands reversed in feeling is showing me that even if your thoughts are accepting of what's happening, what's changing around you, your emotions are closed off from any kind of positive result that you could be getting from that understanding. It's almost as if your emotions are closing you off from using and wielding all of this knowledge for any good. It seems with the Ace of Wands reversed that your emotions are going to be unwieldy. Your emotions aren't going to be able to be effectively utilized. And again, like I said, I think that's unfortunate, and hopefully we can get that upright because your thoughts are so exactly what they need to be right now. Like I said earlier in the intro, with Venus and Mars changing signs, with Libra season still in action, with an eclipse in Libra, balance, acceptance, understanding, those things are going to be super, super important for us. And if we aren't ready for that eclipse, the emotions are going to be totally wild and uncontrollable. And we really don't want that, especially for you. You are steady, you are solid, you're reliable, and you might need to rely a lot on your mind. I don't know if you will, because in doing, we got the Star reversed. The Star reversed in doing it's a further reflection of being closed off. It's a further indication that you are going to be closed off from flow, emotional flow in particular. You are closed off from your intuition, maybe in your insistence of staying rooted and grounded. You're so afraid to tap into your emotions, to any kind of intense emotions this week, maybe out of fear for the eclipse, maybe out of just your understanding that things are changing, things are going to transform, stuff already has, and it will. It's eclipse season. Having the Star reversed is like I said, just a further indication that your mind and your heart are not in line. And they need to be. You need to be. Your mind is so powerful this week. I really, really hope you can get a handle on your emotions. And I don't mean that to say that your emotions are going to be wild and all over the place. They could be. I think you're just not going to be able to tap into them and accept them. Accept what your intuition is telling you. Accept what your heart is telling you. You're not going to be accepting of those feelings as much as you are your thoughts. And you need to accept both because you need to be cleansed. You need to be balanced. This week for you is going to be reflection. You need to reflect. Get the Star upright so that you can get the Ace of Wands upright, so that we can unite those things with Judgment upright. And so your mind and your heart can be balanced in honor of Libra. And the Star can be allowed to provide hope and healing for you and protection. The only way we do that, though, is if you reflect this week. Reflect on yourself. Reflect on the changes you're accepting, because If your mind is your strength this week, think. Think about what you know. Just add flow and some emotional perspective on that. And I think that will bring balance. Turn these cards upright and you'll be able to be harmonious in your mind and heart, which is what you're going to need to stay grounded, rooted, and steady for this eclipse. So prepare yourself through reflection, Taurus. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Great. Okay, so let's hope that this tarot spread, Thinking, Feeling, Doing, can help you stay balanced and harmonious and at peace and calm. That's really, really our goal this week. So let's take a deep breath and engage. Thinking, Feeling, Doing. Gemini, you are thinking the Hierophant reversed. What are you feeling then? The Seven of Cups reversed. Okay. If those are your thoughts and feelings, what are you doing? The Ten of Swords reversed. Gemini, your week is going to be dynamic and, if not intense, then definitely releasing. And that's exactly what you need. So I'm excited about this for you, but I'm also, it's going to take some effort. But let's get started. In thinking, you got the Hierophant reversed. To me, that shows that you are not going to follow the group this week. It shows that other people's opinions aren't really infiltrating your thoughts. You are not going to be swayed by other people's thoughts. You're not going to be bothered by other people's opinions. You are going to be your own independent leader this week, and that may not be routine for you, but this week certainly you are wanting to go at it alone. Whatever that is, whether that's just some kind of mental journey, it seems like it's a mental journey, whether that's just some kind of task you're doing this week, anything like that, you're going to be wanting to and actively forging your own path. And I think that's really important based on the other cards. In feeling, you got the Seven of Cups reversed. Seven of Cups reversed in feeling for you, especially with the Hierophant reversed, is showing me that on your own path, in your own way, you will finally be able to make decisions. Probably one decision in particular, meaning whatever is in front of you that you have to decide on, where you have multiple choices, this week, especially if you think independently, if you're an independent thinker this week, you'll be able to choose one of those things. You'll be able to make a crucial, consequential decision, but only if you think on your own and follow your own thoughts, your opinions. opinions. The only way you can make that decision is through independent thought. The decision, because the Seven of Cups reverses in feeling, the decision is going to be emotional. Emotionally tinged, at least. You are going to have some kind of emotional choice to make, and independent thinking is going to help you make that. With the Ten of Swords reversed in doing, it's showing me that that decision that you make, that choice, is going to free you from any kind of self-inflicted pain or trauma you're dealing with. It's going to free you just from any kind of put on, whether from you or outside of you, any kind of put on damage. I don't mean that the damage is false. I don't mean that the trauma is false. I mean that it's something that's been holding you back. Something that's been causing you pain, emotional, mental, physical. It's been something that's been causing you some kind of turmoil. Once you make the decision based on that independent thinking, once you make that choice, You're going to free yourself from that pain. The Ten of Swords reversed, though, does not promise that you'll never have that again. I think because there's an eclipse this week, I think what this is showing me is that before that eclipse, as long as you make that decision before the eclipse, you will be cleansed enough and open enough and free enough to be protected. How this eclipse shows up for you, how you respond to it, and then how you get through eclipse season, these swords may come back. I think indecision this week, next week, and the week after is going to be your enemy. I think following the group and being led by groupthink is going to keep you from making the decisions you need to make in order to stay free from that trauma, from that pain, from whatever's holding you back. So, what you need to do more than anything during eclipse season, starting this week, is follow yourself forward. Trust yourself. And don't be afraid to make decisions. In fact, you're going to need to make them to free yourself and protect yourself. So do that. Think on your own, starting now. I'll see you next week. Okay, now we are moving on to Cancer. Hello, Cancer. Let's hope that the tarot can show us how you can stay protected, balanced, and peaceful on a week of a solar eclipse. It's going to be very important for you to protect your energy this week. So let's let the tarot guide us. Thinking, feeling, doing. This week, you are thinking the sun. Cool. Wow. Okay, what are you feeling this week then? The Three of Pentacles reversed. What are you doing? The Five of Wands reversed. Okay, Cancer. Well, your thoughts are bright, beautiful, sunny, effective, balanced, and wonderful. So your mind is exactly where it needs to be this week. In fact, you're getting a healthy dose of joy and warmth that is not guaranteed. This week, I mean, listen, I'm really surprised to see the sun for you in thinking, and I'm really, really excited about it. Feeling and doing are slightly different things. They have a lot to do with each other, but very little to do with the sun in thoughts. So I really want to focus on the sun in thoughts before we move on, because I think that that's going to be your safe space. Your thoughts, your mind, your intellect is going to be your safe space this week. That's going to be the sanctuary you need. Your intellectual side, in your thoughts, in your mind, that is where you need to go this week if things get a little crazy. You need to trust what you're thinking more than you are trusting what you're feeling. And I know that might be different from what you're used to. So really focus on trusting your thoughts as much as you can. And hold on to that space. Like I said, go there when you need it, because in feeling, you got the Three of Pentacles reversed. The way I'm interpreting the Three of Pentacles reversed, especially because you got the Five of Wands in doing, but in feeling it's a Three of Pentacles reversed. And what I see there is that you're not going to be working in groups this week. You really, effectively, at least, if you have to work in groups this week, it's not going to be super effective. Certainly not for you. Working in groups just isn't going to be the major place of self-protection, the major place of vibrancy. That's going to be in your mind. In a group setting, it's just not in the cards this week. I mean, like I said, you may have to do that, and that's fine. You'll do just fine. But your safe space, your protection, the place you're going to thrive this week is clearly in your mind. You may, because you're not able to function super well in a group this week, or maybe your groups are just dysfunctional this week, that may be really emotionally taxing on you. So again, leave that space and go into your mind. The reason I think that you may need to rely on that is because in doing, you got the 5 of Wands reversed. The 5 of Wands reversed in conjunction with the 3 of Pentacles reversed is definitely showing me that there is not only are groups not going to work, they may be actively dysfunctional. And the way that they may be actively dysfunctional is because there's too much engagement and competition, and not healthy competition that brings out the best in everyone, but a competitiveness that is detrimental to everyone, the group, the cause you're all working for, the task ahead, protecting ourselves and each other from whatever is coming during eclipse season. For you, your mind is a bright beacon of hope, but the group is not. So this week, the advice that I'm seeing from this spread is that this week you need to focus exclusively on yourself. If you have to work in groups, just don't expect them to function super well. If you really need that to happen, which you might, use your mind and trust your intellect over your emotions. This discord in these groups may be bringing about some really heightened emotional stuff for you. Leave all of that behind because your mind is lit up, vibrant, prepared, protective, and guiding you this week. So anytime you feel overwhelmed, anytime this group dysfunction feels overly competitive, anytime you feel like you just can't get ahead or you don't feel safe, think. Pause, take a deep breath, and think. And then you'll be okay. And then maybe next week, we can dive back into deep emotions and get through the rest of eclipse season that way. But for now, it's our minds. I'll see you next week. Okay, next up is Leo. Hi, Leo. Okay, let's let the tarot guide us to balance and harmony and peace so that we can be bright and vibrant in spite of eclipse season, and so that we can stay balanced, even if we want to kind of go quickly ahead. Let's see, though, what we're thinking, feeling, doing, and hope that we get clarity. This week, Leo, you are thinking the 9 of Cups. Okay? What are we feeling then? King of Swords reversed. Doing. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay. Leo, 9 of Cups in thinking is fascinating. But it makes so much sense because of what we've all been through recently. I also think it's a really great place to start a week where balance is going to be essential, because the 9 of Cups for you in thinking means that you are aware of and embracing and utilizing all of the gifts that you have earned. All of the lessons you have earned could literally be all of the wealth and resources you've accumulated. I'm going to say over the last few weeks, like the last month, probably during Virgo season, all of the lessons that you've learned from that, everything you gained from that, you're sitting pretty. In your mind, in your thoughts, you are feeling content, balanced, and surrounded by everything you've earned. And that's a beautiful place for your mind to be. I'm thrilled about that. I think in your feelings, though, there's almost a counterbalance to what you're thinking. In feelings, you got the King of Swords reversed. This card for you, in conjunction with that Nine of Cups in thinking, is showing me that while you are content and balanced in thought, while you are utilizing your resources you've earned, I think that your heart has maybe been a little bit cold and jaded from what you had to do to earn that. I think maybe potentially what the King of Swords reversed in feeling is showing is that even if in our minds we're feeling, yeah, I did a great job, I did what I needed to do, I'm surrounded by all this great stuff, that maybe your heart doesn't fully buy it. That your heart is maybe jaded by what you had to do, that your heart and your emotions are clouded by this sense of fear. I think maybe your heart is afraid of getting too comfortable with what your mind is owning. How you're going to react to that is the Wheel of Fortune reversed, which we got in doing. So this dichotomy, this counterweight of your thoughts and your heart, this Nine of Cups contentment and pride with this King of Swords reversed coldness and jadedness, is going to show up as not a balance. After all, it's going to show up as an inability to accept transition. And for you, and at this time during this week, it's going to be an inability for you to accept what the eclipse and what eclipse season is going to cause, is going to bring you. But let's make this simple, because your mind is good. I think the Nine of Cups in thinking is good. I think that's really great. It's a great Leo place. Pride, you're proud. The King of Swords makes sense in a way, but I wish our hearts could be open and warm and accepting of ourselves just as much as the Nine of Cups is. I wish our feelings could match the pride and the joy we have with our thoughts. I think they're going to have to, because no one can operate with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. If we're stuck with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, meaning if we're stuck not accepting transition, not accepting the wheel turning, not accepting the hands of time moving, not accepting what the eclipses are going to bring, if we spend the whole week doing that, or the whole season doing that, that's not the kind of balance that Libra wants you to have. So what we need to do is fix our feelings, fix our hearts, get our hearts in the right place. That's going to be your focus for the week. Don't worry about your thoughts. Don't worry about the intellectual side. You got it, you're good, trust that, thrive in that. You need to dig deep into emotions. Not necessarily deep emotional dives, but what you need to do is you need to find an emotionally stable place. Some place where you know, or some situation where you know that you have a stable emotional reaction. Some place where you trust your emotional balance. And then you need to do everything you can to focus on that exclusively this week. If you can do that, if you can get your feelings into a place of authority and balance where you feel just as content sitting among your feelings as you do sitting among your thoughts, you're going to get the Wheel of Fortune upright. You're going to accept the transitions as they're coming, and you're going to be chill and balanced and prideful during eclipse season, which you need to do big time, because we cannot have cold emotions, Leo. That is not who we are. We are not going to thrive. So focus on what makes you emotionally powerful this week, emotionally content this week, and only do that. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Virgo. Hello, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, let the tarot guide us towards balance, calm, peace, and harmony. I hope for you too, it brings about some self-assurance, because we're definitely going to need it. Starting eclipse season this week, it's going to be essential. So what are you thinking, feeling, and doing this week? You are thinking the Nine of Wands reversed. What are you feeling then? the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, if those are your thoughts and your feelings, what are you doing with that? Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, Virgo, well, 2 reversed court cups. It's interesting. I'm seeing right away from this that for you this week, there is a sense of feeling off kilter. You're going to feel closed off and not in tune with your emotional side. But let's start with your thinking. Let's start with your mind. And in your thinking, you got the 9 of Wands reversed. The 9 of Wands reversed in thinking for you shows me that you are ready to loosen up the boundaries you've put on your thoughts recently, perhaps from Virgo season. I think this is Venus entering your sign this week. I think that Venus is coming in and kind of adding a new, different element to Virgo that I think is maybe starting to hint that you might need to break down your barriers a little bit. That maybe now that your season's over, now that we're solidly in Libra season, now that eclipse season is also beginning, that it might be time for you to let down some of that rigidity and understand that maybe it has made you a little bit jaded. It probably made you strong and tough, and you obviously did a really good job, but it might be time to let a little love in. Balancing out your thoughts may be important. The Knight of Cups in feeling is showing me almost exactly that. It's showing me that you are going to let Venus in this week into your heart. You're going to loosen up. You're going to open up a little bit to emotional flow, which is not your forte, but you're going to help. You're still going to stay rooted, but letting that love in, letting Venus into your thoughts and your heart, letting your boundaries be a little bit more fluid is going to really, really help you stay protected. It's going to do almost probably the opposite of what you think. And I think you will probably be in denial about that because in doing, we got the Queen of Cups. So she's different than the Knight of Cups. We got the Queen of Cups reversed. And she's different than the Knight of Cups reversed because the Knight of Cups reversed lets a little bit of that in. The Queen of Cups reversed blocks you off. When she's reversed, she is blocked off from using her flow, her emotions, her thoughts, her power, her self-assuredness, her self-trust. She's blocked off from that, from using it for good, from using it to help herself, value her creations, value her rule, value her authority. She's blocked when she's reversed. In thinking and in feeling, you are ready to open up. You're still blocked, but you're ready to open up. You're ready to let love in. You're ready to let Venus into your sign. And that's not always an easy thing. Venus in Virgo's not easy, but it brings in some really useful information. It brings in some really useful feeling. And you need to tap into that. Your goal this week is to get the Queen of Cups upright. Ponder her upright. Look at her upright. Think about her upright. The only way that you are going to let Venus fully in, the only way that you really are going to be able to balance thoughts and feelings, love and protection, and let those boundaries be a little bit more fluid. The only way that you're going to be able to value your own authority while still being creative and passionate and, again, and protective. The only way that you're going to be able to be open enough to accept whatever the eclipse season brings for you, the only way is if you loosen up. This week, you need to loosen up. You need to let Venus in. She's coming in no matter what. The eclipses are happening no matter what. You need to be the Queen of Cups upright. And the only way to do that is to let a little love in. That might be the biggest challenge for you, but you'll know what to do. And if you do it, you'll be strong, powerful, creative, and balanced. And protected during eclipse season. So I really hope you do. I'll see you next week. All right, moving on to Libra. Hello, Libra. Okay, Libra, it's a big week for you. We have a solar eclipse in your sign. So we need to figure out, and we need to let this tarot guide us to see how we can use thinking, feeling, and doing to protect ourselves and keep ourselves emotionally and mentally balanced. Okay. Thinking. What are you thinking this week, Libra? Queen of Pentacles. Great. What are you feeling? The High Priestess. Wow. Okay. What are you doing? The Four of Cups. Wow. Let's figure out how what you're thinking and feeling is leading to the Four of Cups. Okay. In thinking, Libra, you are good to go. Queen of Pentacles in thinking shows me Libra this week is confident, balanced, self-assured. Trust yourself. This card shows me you have every right to do that this week. Trust every thought you have. Trust your mind. It is exactly where it needs to be right now. Love that for you. It shows me that Libra is going to be just fine during the solar eclipse because your mind is in the right place. So you'll end up in the right place. In feeling, we get the High Priestess. Here she is. She is also on a throne, a very different throne than the Queen of Pentacles. But she is so internal. If the Queen of Pentacles is external, if your thoughts are outward, your feelings are inward. Your feelings are on your deepest depths. Your feelings are on peace and calm and inner balance. And again, that's gorgeous. You will be able to combine active, vibrant, self-assured thinking with inner, self-aware, intuitive focus. The balance of your thoughts and your mind this week is beautiful. It's essential. It's very Libra, but almost amplified, which makes sense. There's a really big event happening in your sign. All of that is super amazing, borderline intense, but also almost placid and peaceful. So it's, again, a really good balance. But then in doing, we got the Four of Cups, showing me that what you potentially are doing this week is almost focusing so intently on the day-to-day mundane aspects of life that you're missing the greater gifts around you. And that really surprises me, having seen what you're thinking and feeling, what your mind and your heart are. I would assume that the only thing you were doing is latching on to big, beautiful concepts, inward and outward. So what I think the Four of Cups is hinting at is that even if the Queen of Pentacles is external, even if the High Priestess is internal, even if both of those things are balanced, you may be so focused on you that you're missing something big, bright, inspirational, and affecting in the outside world, in the astrology of the week, in your close-knit world and the outer world. I think that with all of this self-assured power, balance, internal focus, external projection and power, with all of this intense balance in your heart and your mind, you may be living in this place of peace and comfort, but the stars are promising something bigger. They're offering something even bigger. I don't think this means you should throw your thoughts and mind into chaos. I don't think that you shouldn't honor the Queen of Pentacles, and especially the High Priestess. But I think you may be called this week to look further out, and look further in. Even in a week where you'll be doing that to the nth degree, you still need to go deeper and look further. Trust yourself first. Do not lose self-trust. If you're self-doubting, stop immediately. That's the wrong direction. If you can get in the groove of self-assuredness, that's where you will find this beautiful gift waiting for you. Maybe it's the transitions promised by the eclipse. Maybe for you, they're really beautiful and something even bigger and brighter and more inspirational than you could even imagine. Even you, Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess. There's something bigger. So this week, and these eclipses promise something grand, transformative, and powerful. Even more than we thought. Even more than you think. Trust yourself and you'll find it. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. Okay, so Mars moves into your sign this week on Wednesday, and it loves it. And you are going to love it. I am excited for you for this week. For this transit. For Mars moving into Scorpio, I'm very excited. Hopefully, the tarot can guide us on how we can use that to prepare ourselves for these eclipses that may actually be pretty difficult. So let's see though. Thinking. What are you thinking this week? Knight of Wands. What are you feeling? Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay, what are you doing? Two of Swords reversed. Well, two cards that have a lot to do with balance are reversed. Okay, so I think that this spread is telling us right away that Scorpio, this week for you is going to be a mixed bag. But let's start with thinking. In your thoughts, you're the Knight of Wands. You are ambitious. You are adventurous this week. You're feeling a call and a drive to move forward. It's in thinking, so I'm guessing this has a lot to do with you being innovative, you thinking of new creative ideas, new places to go, new passions to pursue. Your mind is lit up this week, and that's awesome. Because your feelings are the Two of Pentacles reversed, meaning they are out of whack, they are out of balance. Your emotions are going to be swinging from one side to the next. You won't be able to juggle them. You're not going to be able to, or you're going to struggle with, hopefully you'll be able to eventually, but you're going to struggle with balancing your emotions. And that's going to get in the way of this fiery Knight of Wands who is here to light up your mind. Your emotions are imbalanced. They just are. And that is not what we need. We want Mars to enter our sign, to enter Scorpio, and to emphasize everything you are. Traditionally, Mars rules Scorpio. So it is great here. It is powerful here. Mars can bring so much energy and assertive focus to Scorpio. And I think that is clear in your thoughts. In your emotions, though, maybe it's kicking up a little bit of a mess right as it enters. The best way to balance your feelings and bring them in line with your thoughts is represented by what you'll be doing. And that's the Two of Swords reversed. The Two of Swords reversed for you says you need to choose. There's probably one of two things you're trying to choose. Maybe in this case, it's one of two emotions, since that's what's out of whack. You aren't able to balance varying emotions this week very well, according to the tarot. So you need to choose one or the other. If your emotions are taking you into an introspective place, if your emotions are taking you into a social place, if your emotions are just swinging widely throughout the day, you need to lock on to one emotion. The Two of Swords is saying the best way that you can be free, the best way that your blindfold can be taken off, and you can jump on your horse and race forward with Mars into power and assertive, ambitious focus to pursue all the dreams and innovations that you have on your mind. The best way to do that is to choose an emotional focus and latch onto it this week. Don't swing back and forth. Mood swings are not going to help you. You may be dealing with a lot of them this week, especially as we get closer and closer to that eclipse in Libra. Your intuition and your intuitive internal flow may be swinging wildly from one extreme to the next. You've got to just go with one or the other. If you're feeling down, maybe you need to analyze those emotions. Instead of trying to just counterbalance it with some good feeling, maybe you just need to kind of deal with it. If you're feeling really amazing, but then these other negative feelings come in, banish them and just feel good. Choose one or the other. Don't live in this place of imbalanced emotions. It's not going to help you. Mood swings in particular, avoid them at all costs this week. Peace and balance for you lies in choice, not in two extremes. Maybe one extreme, but not two. But at the end of the day, I'm not super worried. I think the Knight of Wands and Thinking shows me that you're going to use what Mars has to offer you, and you're going to ride with Mars through your sign, through eclipse season, to be able to be vibrant and creative and adventurous. Just keep mood swings under control. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Okay, let's hope that this tarot spread can guide us to peace and harmony and calm as we prepare for eclipse season to begin this week, as we deal with the changing of signs that Venus and Mars go through. Let's let the tarot guide us. I know that it will. Thinking, feeling, doing. What are you thinking? Justice reversed. What are you feeling this week, Sagittarius? The Emperor. Okay. What are you doing then? The Queen of Cups reversed. Wow. Sagittarius, this week is intense for you. This week is going to be intense for you. Period. There's no other way to say it. We'll go through these cards step by step, but I have to say that this week is going to be the beginning of a transformative, important time. In Thinking, you got Justice reversed. For you, your mind, your thoughts are going to be on one extreme or the other. In a season that is calling for balance, in a season that needs us to stay even-keeled, your mind is Justice reversed. Your mind is in extremes. This could be beneficial ultimately. It could mean that you will be decisive in a time where decisiveness is going to be really hard to come by for a lot of us. Libra season doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be able to decide. It kind of just means that we're keeping two things in balance or keeping ourselves in balance. I think for you, having almost the antithesis of Libra show up in your mind, I think it's showing me that while you may be bouncing around to mental extremes, you are going to be able to be really decisive. Maybe you have a power this season that no one else does. Trust that, because in your feelings, you're the Emperor. You are solid on your throne. Your feelings are balanced, almost rigid in their structure, but you're able to use that to effectively wield authority. So decisiveness in your thoughts, structure and control in your emotions, that's intense. And it kind of calls for a certain sense of responsibility that maybe you're not interested in. Because in doing, you're the Queen of Cups reversed. Meaning, what you're doing is losing sight of your own authority and therefore missing out on creative flow, on passionate flow, on a focus towards the future. You are unable to wield this absolutely intense but very vivid sense of decision-making and authority. I'm thinking it's because this throne, there's 3 different types of thrones in this spread. So the throne that you're on maybe isn't the place you want to be. This responsibility that you seem to have over other signs with this ability to make decisions in a period of placidity, a need for placidity, a need for calm and balance. You are able to be decisive. You're able to be authoritative in that. You're able to be self-confident and, like I said, borderline rigid, but almost in a boundaried way to where it's kind of healthy. The Queen of Cups reverse says you won't be doing any of that this week because you're not going to be open to it. Your ability, your almost exclusive ability this season to do something that you normally don't is going to be required. Your responsibility, your sense of responsibility is going to be required because none of the other signs are going to really be able to make a lot of clear decisions. But you, according to the spread, have access to all of that. You just have to open yourself up to it. If you don't, you may lose this sense of authority and decision-making power as eclipse season goes forward, as Libra season goes on. You may lose that because it's only a guarantee for you right now, this week. So tap into that. The best way to do that is to trust your judgment, trust your decision-making power, and trust that that power can be wielded and needs to be wielded. You need to wield your authoritative decision-making power this week, even if that feels really difficult. You have to do it. Open yourself up to your own abilities this week. We all need you. I'll see you next time. Okay, moving on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Let's get started with your reading. I'm hoping that this tarot spread can help us stay calm, stay protected, stay focused during the start of eclipse season with these planets changing sign this week. Lots of stuff happening. Transformation guaranteed. Hopefully this spread can help us reel things in and focus. So, thinking, feeling, doing. What are you thinking, Capricorn? The Lovers. Okay. What are you feeling? The Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. And what are you doing? The Four of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Wow. Well, your thoughts are beautiful. Your thoughts are full of connection, full of love. You are thinking about partners. You are thinking about unity, union. Your mind is balanced, and it's balanced in the best way. I think this is a good sign for Libra. I think this is a good sign for Venus moving into Virgo as well. I think this is showing us that there is a chance for mental clarity for you around some intense emotional resonance. You'll be able to combine pragmatic thinking with love. And that's a challenging thing to do. But the Lovers in your mind shows me that you understand what love is to you right now. And that's beautiful. Your feelings are slightly more complicated. In your feelings, it's the Knight of Pentacles reversed, telling me that in your heart, while you do feel steady and rooted, you understand, and maybe this is because of the Lovers in thinking, that there is greater beauty around you. There is more to be felt than just steady balance. Your mind is opened up this week to be able to let that in. Your feelings are also ready for that. Your heart is also ready for that. So really trust how you are thinking about love. Basically, smart love, intellectual understanding of unity and union is going to unite your mind and your heart. And what that's going to make you do is the Four of Pentacles. Meaning you are going to be giving. You are going to be open to sharing these thoughts and these feelings. You know, or at least the tarot hints with the Knight of Pentacles reversed in feeling, that you also understand how to stay rooted in this place. So you're not just going to give everything you have and have nothing left so that eclipse season just takes over. You're going to understand the union between your heart and your mind, and you're going to be able to give that freely. I'm surprised to see this for you, I have to say. I think there is no better place to be with eclipse season coming up than to have the Lovers on your mind, than to understand that your heart needs to be open to that, and that you need to be able to give and be open to give. I think that's such a beautiful place. The only thing I'll say is that you need to protect yourself and not give too much. Once we get through eclipse season, once we get our footing in eclipse season, maybe you'll be able to understand those limits better. So for now, trust your mind. Trust how that must connect to your heart. And then start to open yourself up to give your understanding of love to others. We are really, really going to need it. I'll see you next week. Okay, now we are moving on to Aquarius. Hello, Aquarius. Let's let the tarot guide us to understand how we can use thinking, feeling, and doing, or what we'll be thinking, feeling, and doing to get balance and stay protected this week since eclipse season begins. Okay, Aquarius, start with thinking. What are you thinking this week? The Six of Wands. What are you feeling? The Five of Wands. Okay, what are you doing this week? The Emperor reversed. Okay. Well, lots of messaging here. Lots that the tarot wants you to know. Let's start with thinking. In thinking, you got the Six of Wands. And what that shows me is that your thoughts are on celebration, a deserved celebration. You have accomplished something or will accomplish something this week that deserves to be celebrated, and you are going to be thinking about how exactly that can happen. I think this is a lot deeper than just a party. I think this is showing that you are proud of something you've accomplished recently, and you need to be praised for that. If no one else will do it, you will do it in your own mind, and that's just fine. But you did something good, or you will this week, and you deserve praise. So know that. But in your heart, you got the 5 of Wands. It shows me that either you had to compete to get to this place of warranted praise, you had to deal with others in order to get to this place. What you accomplished required some competitive edge. It's upright though, so it's not negative. You did what you had to do, and you got where you needed to get. Good for you. Your thoughts in your mind and your heart and your emotions are in line, and they have to deal with seemingly a very particular set of circumstances, a very particular accomplishment. So find out what that is at the beginning of the week. I think that's really clear. That's thinking and feeling. What are you doing? You're the Emperor reversed. The Emperor reversed is what you're doing this week. So what that shows me is that in this narrative of this spread, you had to, emotionally, maybe literally compete in order to achieve some goal or accomplishment that is worthy of praise. From this position of power, this newfound position of power, this new success, what this success will bring to you, you are going to be authoritative, but open, compassionate. You're going to be benevolent in your new role. You're going to be kind, but still powerful and engaged and authoritative above all. It shows me that I think of all the signs, you this week are aware of what's happening in your world, and you're going to use that to stay balanced, but also powerful. If you don't feel that, I think that you need to get engaged in something in your life right now. Whether that's a project, whether that's something at work, whether that's a friend group, a family situation, something you need to be active in right now. Preparing for eclipse season for you is going to require engagement in the world, engagement in your world. Because if you do that, you will accomplish something that will be warranting of celebration, that will warrant celebration, and that will allow you to sit in a place where you can use your unique self for the most good, which is exactly what you want. So get engaged this week. Don't be afraid to compete because you've got what it takes. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Pisces. Hello, Pisces. So Pisces, I'm really hopeful that this tarot spread will help us stay balanced and calm and harmonious while bringing out the best of what you are. I'm really hopeful of that. So let's get started. Thinking, feeling, doing. What are you thinking this week, Pisces? 2 of Wands. What are you feeling? 7 of Wands. And what are you doing? 4 of Cups. Okay. So Pisces, for you this week, the 2 of Wands represents thinking. You are in planning mode. I'm thinking what you're planning, or maybe what you should be planning, is a way to prepare for eclipse season. A way to protect yourself and stay balanced. I think you are planning ahead, though, to be able to do that. I think you're planning for the transitions, the transformation that these eclipses are promising. I think that based on this card, you are really pensive. You are really pondering what's to come, and you are making plans. That may be not super freeing for you, but it's what you're thinking. In feeling, you got the Seven of Wands. So maybe the Two of Wands planning is not actually trapping you. Maybe your emotions are kind of liking these plans. Maybe your heart is engaged with this planning process. Maybe there's a balance that this planning is bringing to your heart and your mind. This idea that while you can be pragmatic and thoughtful and think clearly about your plans and make concrete ones, that you're having fun with it. You're finding a place of energy and passion and engagement that is keeping the planning process. Maybe just this idea that you're protecting yourself, or that you know that you can engage with whatever intuitive stuff is happening. You're able to engage with all of that. Dive in, but stay balanced, be pragmatic, and be goal-oriented. I think that's what I'm seeing here. So that's great. Wands energy, thoughts and feelings, maybe kind of not what you're super used to, a little fire energy with your water energy, but it's a season of balance. Why not? I love seeing this for you. In doing, though, you got the Four of Cups. So I think that this engagement with wands and this planning and these vibes around, thinking of things for the future and laying out the groundwork for that all of that is taking you a little bit too far from your essence, and you're missing the deeper intuitive messages, these spontaneous, innovative messaging that's going to come to you from these eclipses, from eclipse season, from these planets changing signs this week. There's going to be a chance for some deep intuitive insight. Even if you try or not, you will find them, or they are available. But the Four of Cups says you may be too focused on that planning process, even if it's engaging. And you may miss out on what you do best, which is tapping into deep, intuitive messaging and bringing that into the world. So there is a beautiful place to combine this. If you don't just solely focus on planning and you really look at what the deeper point is, why you're doing this, what you're finding, get the intuitive flow. Let the planning guide you towards intuitive flow. Let the planning create structure. Enjoy that planning, but let it create a structure that allows you to dive deep. Because the messages that you're going to find are going to be beautiful and essential. So structure's great, planning's great. Don't lose Pisces. Dive in. I'll see you next week. Okay, everyone. Well, after those readings, I am incredibly intrigued by what the week has to offer us. The common theme through every reading was hidden complexity. I think it is 100% eclipse season energy showing up in these readings, but in each and every reading, there was a hidden complication. Most of the time, what helped reveal that complication, what helped balance that complication, was the unity of our hearts and minds. When the cards showed a connected heart and mind, the hidden complication was much more manageable. But eclipses are shadowy times, and every single tarot spread showed that there's a hidden shadow in this week for all of us. So the good side of that is that we're all in it together. No one sign is going to have it better or worse. We're all going to be dealing with some hidden element. What that hidden element is and how we combat it was revealed in each of the readings, but was also individual. So I hope you latch onto that message. I hope you unite your hearts and your minds this week. Trust yourself, protect yourself, stay balanced and calm, but be engaged. And know that we're all in it together. So let's stay hand in hand. We will get through eclipse season. I'll see you next week.